Maybe you want to retire, maybe you're thinking of relocating, or maybe you just want a better lifestyle that doesn't drain your wallet. Either way, this video breaks it all down. We'll cover what it really costs to live in each town, how much you'll pay for homes and rent, who lives there, what kinds of jobs and businesses you'll find, and why these places are such gems for Black families. You might be shocked at how far your money actually goes and how many people are quietly living well, completely stress-free, far from the big city grind. Before we get started, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next guide to living smarter, freer, and for less right, here on American Life Explained. Let's jump in with the first town, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. This small southern spot is quietly turning into a safe haven for Black families tired of running in circles just to pay rent and bills. Life here is slower, the cost of living is low, and people actually know their neighbors. You'll bump into soul food joints on every block, friendly folks at the farmer's market, and a rich Black history that goes way back. But here's what really grabs you the price. In Pine Bluff, the median home costs about $90,000. That's less than what a lot of people put down just to buy a house in big cities. Rents? You're looking at $650 to $850 for a full 2 or 3 bedroom house. Groceries, utilities, and healthcare are all 20 to 30% cheaper than the national average. For families or retirees, Pine Bluff is one of the South's most affordable options. Picture this: you work remotely or run your own business, and instead of watching your paycheck disappear, you get to keep most of it. That's what a lot of folks in Pine Bluff are doing right now. The Black community here is strong and proud, making up nearly 75% of the population. You'll see Black-owned businesses, churches, barbershops, and local leaders shaping daily life. And newcomers get a warm welcome. People help each other out, whether it's fixing up a house, throwing neighborhood events, or planting community gardens. This isn't just a place to live, it's a place to belong. Pine Bluff sits along the Arkansas River, so you get peaceful views, fishing, walking trails, and quiet mornings on the porch. Weekends mean barbecues, music festivals, and southern celebrations. And if you ever need a taste of city life, Little Rock is just 45 minutes away. You can keep that smalltown.com without missing out on bigger job opportunities. Pine Bluff's working hard to reinvent itself with new jobs in education, farming, and manufacturing. The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff keeps things lively. Think steady jobs, culture, and tons of educational resources. If you're an entrepreneur, it's a great place to start out. Commercial rents are low, there are local grants for Black-owned businesses, and people here love supporting their own. So why do people call Pine Bluff a hidden gem? It's one of the last places where you can actually buy a home outright or live comfortably on a regular income. Neighbors watch out for each other. Peace, affordability, and heritage are all just part of daily life. It's a place to build, to breathe, to start fresh. Now, let's talk about town 2, Albany, Georgia. Tucked away in southwest Georgia, Albany is a peaceful city most people never think about. But once you find it, it's hard to leave. This is Albany, Georgia, a place where history, soul, and community meet affordability in a way that feels almost unreal in today's economy. Here, life feels slower in the best way. You can wake up to birds chirping, enjoy sunny weather almost year-round, and still be surrounded by a community that feels like extended family. For many Black families, Albany has become a quiet escape, a place to breathe, grow, and actually afford to live well. The cost of living here is incredibly low compared to most American cities. A decent 3-bedroom home in Albany averages around $120,000, and you can find rentals as low as $700 a month in safe, family-friendly neighborhoods. Groceries, gas, and healthcare are all below the national average, which means your paycheck stretches further than you ever thought possible. What makes Albany special is not just the affordability, it's the sense of belonging. Nearly 73% of the city's population is Black, and that presence shows up beautifully in the culture, the food, the churches, and the small businesses that line the streets. You'll find restaurants serving catfish, collard and greens, and cornbread cooked with love. You'll hear the echoes of gospel music drifting from Sunday church doors, and you'll see black entrepreneurs running everything from barbershops to boutiques to local cafes. There's pride here, not the loud kind, but the quiet, steady kind that comes from knowing you're standing on generations of resilience and community. Albany also carries a deep connection to civil rights history. It's the hometown of the legendary Ray Charles and a place that once played a key role in the movement for racial justice in the 1960s. Today, you can still visit Freedom Plaza and see the statue of Ray Charles sitting at his piano, a symbol of creativity, perseverance, and strength. But Albany isn't just about the past. It's growing into the future. The city is investing in new business opportunities, education, and infrastructure. Albany State University brings a youthful energy and a steady flow of jobs, while nearby hospitals and local industries offer stable employment for anyone dreaming of working remotely, retiring early, or just cutting down expenses. This is one of those towns where your money actually works for you. People here are buying homes outright, starting small family businesses, and living without the constant pressure of rising rent and big city costs. What really draws people in, though, is the peace, the kind that you can't buy in major cities. The kind that comes from walking through tree-lined streets at sunset, hearing children play outside, and knowing your community truly cares. Albany feels like home. It's a town where you can live comfortably, surrounded by familiar faces and shared culture, while saving enough to actually plan for the future, not just survive day to day. So, if you've been praying for a place that offers safety, connection, and financial freedom, Albany, Georgia might be exactly what you've been searching for, because peace doesn't have to mean isolation, and affordability doesn't have to mean compromise. Sometimes it just means finding a town that welcomes you, understands you, and gives you room to thrive. I-Town 3, Greenville, Mississippi. If you're searching for a town that feels like stepping back into a simpler, more peaceful time, where neighbors wave, families gather for cookouts, and life isn't a race, then you'll love Greenville, Mississippi. This little city hugs the Mississippi, its wide riverbank lined with tall trees and endless sky. There's an easygoing southern energy here, you feel it right away. People don't just come for the low prices, they come because it feels like home. In Greenville, your dollar goes a long way. Living costs are almost 40% below the national average. You can grab a solid house for $85,000, sometimes even less. Rent? A cozy 2-bedroom might run you just $600 a month. For a lot of black families, that means real freedom, room to breathe. The kind of financial space that's almost impossible to find in bigger cities now. But Greenville isn't just affordable. It's got deep black roots. Over 3/4 of folks here are African American. You see that legacy everywhere. In the music drifting out of open windows, the art on the walls, the food, and the street festivals that seem to pop up every season. People know each other, neighbors check in. The church still anchors life. Even the farmer's market turns into a big weekend hangout. So, people move here for more than just the savings. They're looking for connection, for values that matter. Education and opportunity are growing too. Local businesses, especially in food, retail, and farming, are taking off. The city's even rolling out affordable housing incentives, making it easier for newcomers to settle in. And with remote work now a real option, a lot of folks realize they can enjoy this calm, budget-friendly lifestyle without missing a beat. Sure, Greenville's quiet, but it's not cut off. Jackson and Memphis are only a few hours away, so you get that small-town peace without losing touch. If you work remotely, Danville makes it easy. The internet's solid, and there are plenty of co-working spots, so you can keep your career going without giving up the quiet of a small town. Check out the River District. It's probably the prettiest part of the city. Locals run the shops, walking trails wind along the river, and you'll find outdoor art around every corner. On weekends, families paddle down the Dan River or hang out by the water, ice cream in hand, just soaking up the good stuff that makes life feel full. Danville's location is kind of perfect. You're about an hour from Greensboro, just 2 hours from Raleigh or Richmond. So, if you ever need some city action, it's right there. But you still get all the peace and calm of small-town life. If you want to make your money go further, start over, or just live without the stress of big city bills, Danville actually delivers. It feels peaceful, but there's real potential here. What really sets Danville apart is how it mixes old-school values with a sense of possibility. It's not just a cheap place to live. People put down roots here. They raise families. They reconnect with what matters. Sometimes, the best move isn't chasing the biggest city. It's finding a town that gives you space to breathe, grow, and finally live the way you want. Now, let's talk about Macomb, Illinois. Tucked away in western Illinois, it's the kind of quiet town most folks haven't heard of. But people who live here say it's a hidden gem, especially if you're tired of sky-high city prices. In Macomb, your money stretches further, your neighbors actually care, and life just slows down in the best way. With rent and groceries climbing everywhere else, Macomb feels like a real break. You can buy a home for around $100,000 and rent a comfy two-bedroom for as little as $650 a month. Everything utilities, groceries, getting around is cheaper than the national average. You can live well here, even if you're not rolling in cash. There's a strong, growing Black community and town families. Students, retirees all making a home here. People still say hello at the store. The pace is relaxed, and it just feels safe and easy. Western Illinois University sits right in the middle of town, bringing a buzz of energy. The university means jobs, cultural events, and chances to learn or create. It keeps things lively. Black families say Macomb gives them something bigger cities can't. Peace of mind. Kids play outside. Parents work without worrying about rent swallowing their paycheck. Retirees can actually enjoy retirement instead of stressing over bills. Sure, it's a small place, but you're not cut off. Peoria and Springfield are just a drive away, so you can dip into city life when you want, but without the constant grind. For remote workers, Macomb's a sweet spot. Fast internet, cheap rent, and a quiet vibe. It's almost tailor-made for working from home and living simply. But numbers only tell part of the story. There's a feeling here friendly, safe, steady. It's the sort of place where you can start over, rebuild, or just slow down and live with intention. For a lot of Black families moving in from bigger cities like Chicago or St. Louis, it's a game changer. You don't have to juggle 3 jobs or agonize over every bill. Here, you can finally breathe easy and start planning for what's next. Peace isn't just about your address. It's about the kind of life you get to live. Take Macomb, Illinois. You can live free, live simply, live well. Now, let's talk about Town 6, Beaumont, Texas. Tucked away in southeast Texas, just about 90 minutes from Houston, Beaumont feels full of life, affordable, and grounded in community. It's a lively, diverse place where a lot of Black families are finding real comfort, opportunity, and that rare thing, financial freedom. The cost of living here, over 20% lower than the national average. You'll find home prices hovering around $150,000. And family-sized rentals usually run between $850 and $1,000 a month. For families leaving pricey cities, it's like starting fresh. But don't get the wrong idea. Beaumont isn't some quiet, sleepy town. There's always something going on. Local festivals celebrate Black heritage and Cajun roots, and the food scene. Think top-notch seafood and gumbo that'll have you coming back for more. You see the city's diversity everywhere in the people, the food, the faith. What really sets Beaumont apart is its tight-knit Black community and the spirit of entrepreneurship. Black-owned restaurants, salons, and small businesses aren't just surviving, they're thriving. Folks look out for each other. Word of mouth keeps shops busy, and everyone seems to know that when the community wins, everyone wins. A lot of people move here to build something for themselves. Land's still affordable, and the housing market gives families a real shot at owning property and building something that lasts. It's not rare to meet people who bought their first home here with little more than grit and hope, and if you need work, Beaumont's got options. The economy's strong, energy, construction, education, healthcare, all offering steady jobs with good pay. Remote workers like it too. You get the slow pace of a small city, but Houston's close enough for a weekend trip if you need it. But honestly, it's more than just numbers and job stats. What pulls people in is the feeling. Life slows down here. People still wave when you drive by. Families hang out in parks, fish, or fire up barbecue under those endless Texas skies. There's a sense of resilience, here Southern, and undeniably Black. The older folks remember the tough days, but they built something solid, something that lasts. Now, a new generation's picking up the torch, buying homes, opening businesses, and redefining what success looks like right here at home. For a lot of people, Beaumont is proof you don't have to leave your roots to live well. You can have culture and calm, affordability and opportunity, community and growth. Now, let's head to Town 7, Meridian, Mississippi, right in the heart of the Deep South. Meridian's the kind of place people skip over on the map, but quietly, it's become a safe haven for folks who want to live with dignity, freedom, and a little financial peace. In Meridian, you don't have to hustle just to get by. Here, you can actually settle in and build a steady life. You can find a move-in-ready house for around $85,000, which almost sounds unreal these days. And if you're renting, a roomy 2-bedroom apartment usually runs about $700. Sometimes even less, depending on the neighborhood. Everyday costs like groceries, gas, and utilities, they're some of the lowest around, so your paycheck finally lasts. For a lot of Black families, it's the first time they've watched their money make it through the month, and still had some left over to save. The city itself is changing too, but in a quiet, steady way. Downtown has picked up new life, old buildings turning into welcoming coffee shops, art studios, and small Black-owned boutiques. The arts scene keeps growing, especially with the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience Museum right there, celebrating legends like B.B. King and Jimmy Rogers, the kind of music that shaped this whole part of the country. Sure, you won't find as many job openings as you would in a big city, but the lower cost of living makes it easier to find your balance. Healthcare, manufacturing, and education are the biggest employers. And now, more folks are working remotely, enjoying the calm of a small town while still earning city pay. For families, Meridian offers something money can't really buy. It's safe. There's space. The schools know your kids by name, not just by some number. People look out for each other here. You can leave your porch light on and actually feel like your neighbors have your back. That sense of belonging's real, and it's rare. There's something soulful about Meridian, a kind of warmth that just feels like home. People say it helps them reconnect with their roots, whether they're at a festival, a church service, or just chatting on the sidewalk. And everyone greets you like family. Hey baby, or how you doing? It's love, plain and simple, woven into daily life. If you're tired of the noise and the non-stop grind, Meridian could be the answer you didn't know you were looking for. Black families are building steady, lasting wealth here. Not by chasing trends, but by choosing peace, ownership, and a simpler way of living. Sometimes, the soft life isn't about luxury, it's about waking up without worry, watching your kids play outside, knowing your home is yours and it's filled with love. That's the real dream, and in Meridian, it's still within reach. Now, let's head to Andros Island in the Bahamas, just blue water, gentle breezes, and a pace that makes you slow down and breathe. It's not crowded with tourists or noise. Andros is quiet, humble, and alive in its own way. The cost of living stays surprisingly reasonable, especially if you live simply and stay close to the land. You can find small rental homes for under $400 a month. And some folks have built beachside houses for less than $60,000, all in fresh fish, homegrown fruit and veggies. And the slow rhythm of the island life just asks less from you here, so you can finally relax. The city itself is changing too, but in a quiet, steady way. Downtown has picked up new life, old buildings turning into welcoming coffee shops, art studios, and small Black-owned boutiques. The arts scene keeps growing, especially with the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience Museum right there, celebrating legends like B.B. King and Jimmy Rogers, the kind of music that shaped this whole part of the country. Sure, you won't find as many job openings as you would in a big city, but the lower cost of living makes it easier to find your balance. Healthcare, manufacturing, and education are the biggest employers. And now, more folks are working remotely, enjoying the calm of a small town while still earning city pay. For families, Meridian offers something money can't really buy. It's safe. There's space. The schools know your kids by name, not just by some number. People look out for each other here. You can leave your porch light on and actually feel like your neighbors have your back. That sense of belonging's real, and it's rare. There's something soulful about Meridian, a kind of warmth that just feels like home. People say it helps them reconnect with their roots, whether they're at a festival, a church service, or just chatting on the sidewalk. And everyone greets you like family. Hey baby, or how you doing? It's love, plain and simple, woven into daily life. If you're tired of the noise and the non-stop grind, Meridian could be the answer you didn't know you were looking for. Black families are building steady, lasting wealth here. Not by chasing trends, but by choosing peace, ownership, and a simpler way of living. Sometimes, the soft life isn't about luxury, it's about waking up without worry, watching your kids play outside, knowing your home is yours and it's filled with love. That's the real dream, and in Meridian, it's still within reach. Now, let's head to Andros Island in the Bahamas, just blue water, gentle breezes, and a pace that makes you slow down and breathe. It's not crowded with tourists or noise. Andros is quiet, humble, and alive in its own way. The cost of living stays surprisingly reasonable, especially if you live simply and stay close to the land. You can find small rental homes for under $400 a month. And some folks have built beachside houses for less than $60,000, all in fresh fish, homegrown fruit and veggies. And the slow rhythm of the island life just asks less from you here, so you can finally relax. A lot of Black families who've moved to Andros say it feels like coming home to themselves. You wake up to waves instead of traffic. You walk next door to see a friend instead of fighting highways. You eat what you or your neighbor grew, not something off a store shelf. It's a different kind of freedom, one where peace and community blend together until you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. There's a real sense of safety here. Kids run around and play without a care. Elders gather outside, swapping stories like they always have. Life just feels whole again. That's the real magic of Andros. It's affordable, and you feel like you belong. Sure, it's part of the Bahamas, but you won't find posh resorts or cruise crowds here. Instead, this is home for locals and folks who've come back, all living life at a slower, steadier pace, full of meaning. Most families go way back, descendants of freed Africans and native Bahamians who built their homes, one generation after another. That history gives Andros a soul you can't fake. The economy is small but strong, built on fishing, farming, and a bit of ecotourism. If you dream of living off the land, this is the place. People raise chickens, plant fruit trees, maybe run a guest house, or just work online and enjoy the quiet. The internet works fine for remote jobs. And neighbors welcome newcomers so long as you respect the island's way of doing things. Andros doesn't just have beauty, it has the kind that stops you in your tracks. Blue holes, coral reefs, long empty beaches. You can live 5 minutes from all of it, with hardly a soul around, and you don't have to be rich. Life here costs a fraction of what you'd pay in Miami, or even smaller U.S. towns. For many African Americans moving here, it's about more than saving money. It's about healing. The island feels peaceful, almost sacred, like coming home after a long journey. You're surrounded by people who look and sound like you, sharing a culture built on unity and kindness. Life is unhurried but rich. And when the sun sets, painting the sky gold and the ocean pink, it hits you this simple life is the real treasure. You don't have to run from the world to find peace. You just have to live where peace still lives. Andros Island offers that, almost for free. Now, let's head to Jacmel Hatia Bright, coastal town on the island's southern edge, where creativity and resilience go hand in hand. Jacmel isn't some cookie-cutter Caribbean spot. The place has soul. Art bursts from every wall, the ocean breeze sings through the streets, and Black families live well on a budget most people wouldn't believe. Rent for a simple apartment runs around $200 a month, and you can buy a small house outright for under $40,000. For anyone hoping to start fresh or retire quietly, Jacmel offers something rare, a chance to live debt-free close to nature, surrounded by people who know how to find joy even when life isn't easy. Groceries, seafood, and local produce are cheap, and lots of people grow their own food: mangoes, papayas, avocados, right in their own gardens. What really sets Jacmel apart is its deep connection to African roots. Haiti stands as one of the world's first free black republics, built on liberation and pride, and Jacmel carries that spirit in its bones. Every February, the whole city explodes with color for carnival mats, music, dance, all telling the story of people who turn struggle into art. You feel it every day. It's a reminder that freedom doesn't always mean money, and wealth isn't just about cash. If you want to live simply and with purpose, Jacmel strikes the perfect balance. You can work online, run a small shop, or make art for tourists and export. The internet's steady. You'll find all the basics you need. And more Haitian expats are coming home, ready to invest in their roots. Last stop, Isla Mujeres, Mexico. This quiet paradise sits off Cancun's coast, where turquoise water laps white sand and life slows down enough for you to actually breathe. While most tourists flock to Cancun's busy hotels, Isla Mujeres stays true to itself, humble, peaceful, and wrapped in nature's arms. Locals, expats, and small communities live side by side, simply and affordably. For black families and retirees looking for somewhere calm, warm, and easy on the wallet, Isla Mujeres is a bit of a hidden gem. You can still rent a one-bedroom for $400 to $600 a month, or buy a modest casita for under $90,000. Fresh produce and seafood cost next to nothing compared to the U.S. And every morning, you wake up to ocean air and sunshine, not traffic and alarms, but the real magic. Isla Mujeres has a soul of simplicity and kindness that's hard to find anywhere else. Life on the island just feels different. Everybody knows everybody, neighbors wave like old friends, and the folks running the corner store remember your favorite snack. Nights settle in slow, almost like the whole place is exhaling, just happy to be here. It's not about fancy houses or expensive things. It's the happiness that sneaks up on you. Kids run barefoot by the water. The elders gather outside, talking softly in Spanish. Newcomers find their place too, as long as they respect the easygoing rhythm that makes this place special.